Chapter 6, Pac, page 14. Biggie took over East Coast hip-hop, and Sean was the brilliant mind that orchestrated it. He hired people to teach Chris how to flow, write his lyrics. He hired the best producers to do the beats, although he took credit for them. And the music was unstoppable. At this point, Sean was sleeping with all the power players, and everyone that wanted to do music wanted to be a bad boy. Sean wheeled and dealed in a way that would have been unthinkable to many. He slept with the guys that really controlled the music to stay on top. A lot of the names average people never heard of. These are the guys that make the decisions on who is winning and who is not. He hosted parties that were just as fancy. He hosted parties that were just a fancy name for orgies. And everyone wanted in. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship. And yes, I slept with Pac. Shit, he was sexy. Sean didn't mind. Well, not until he tried to get Pac to join both of us. Pac was not good with that. This was the relationship between them. This is where the relationship between them became strained. Tupac wasn't going to accept Sean's advances. Pac wasn't gay, and he was pissed about the advances. We were all in Sean's house. I was drinking, they were smoking, and everyone was just relaxing. Sean came in on what I am sure he would call a smooth approach. My baby is bad, isn't she? Pac threw me a sly smile. Hell yeah. I felt myself blush. Sean was now in full swing. You think you can hit it better than me? I couldn't believe he disrespected me that way. I was not playing with my response. Sean, what the fuck? Pac came to my defense. Damn, bro, you ain't got to do it with a sister that way. Tupac appeared upset behind Sean's words, but Sean went in for the kill regardless. I think my dick's bigger than yours. I bet I can make her come faster than you. What's up? Pac was appalled. What the fuck are you talking about, nigga? I ain't trying to run no fucking train. Sean continued. What you scared of? Let's see who fucks better. Let her be the judge. Yes, at this point, we have been inviting others into our bed for a while, but I am not used to and will not stand for disrespect. I wasn't the only one upset. Pac shouted, nigga, you talking about pulling your fucking dick out? Sean was undaunted. What you scared of? Tupac simply left. Things were contentious since then. The two could not be in the same room. Pac avoided me as much as he did Sean. When they did bump into each other, the tension was palpable. It felt like blows could be thrown at any moment. Months passed and was only the tension between them. It was uncomfortable, but nothing life or death. Then one day while we were at the studio, it happened. I walked into Sean's office and he was having the conversation. Sean sat across from Jimmy Henchman. Pac don't leave that fucking studio alive. I don't think I was supposed to hear it. I continue as if I didn't. Hey, Sean. Good morning, Jimmy. They didn't seem to think I heard anything. I'm ordering breakfast, smiling. Sean replied first. Let me get eggs, sunny side up with grits, and orange juice. I could see he was hungover. Good. I don't want him knowing I know anything. If he just put a hit on Pac, knowing something could have been dangerous. Jimmy, apparently not hungry, said, "Nothing for me." As he stood to exit the room, he said to Sean, "Let's make that happen." Then nodded to me and said, "Kim, always a pleasure." With a wink to me and a nod to Sean, he turned and walked out. Jimmy was a part of our intimate circle. I went on as if nothing was happening. "I'll make the call now." I smiled as I left, hoping I wasn't white as a sheet. I wasn't in the studio that night. Pac survived being shot, thank God. From what I understand, Sean and Chris saw Pac at the studio after he'd been shot and did nothing. The way God works, after being shot, Pac made it to the elevator and tried to escape, but it stopped at the front. Sean and Chris were on. But it stopped at the floor Sean and Chris were on. When the doors opened, they saw him lying on the elevator floor, riddled with bullets. The fact that they didn't call an ambulance, although they saw Pac lying there swimming in a pool of his own blood, would be all the evidence Pac ever needed. He, of course, assumed they placed the hit, and Tupac is a soldier. This is not something that will be unanswered. Tupac didn't do well. He lost a testicle, but he survived. It was orchestrated, and Sean Puffy Combs was the orchestrator. Chapter 7, Threats, page 17. At this point, I knew I had to get away from him, but I was scared. Is he going to take my life if I try to escape? One February evening, I thought I found my opportunity at dinner after an event. We were at a ritzy restaurant in a private booth. It was an exclusive setup. We were alone, but we were in public. Perfect. Sean was on the phone talking to an unknown listener as he sat down. His words on that cell will be etched into my mind forever. "We're gonna release Who Shot You now." He waited for a response, then went on to say, "Of course they're gonna think B.I.G. was talking about Pac. That's the whole fucking point. Nobody would give a fuck about a diss track about LL fucking Cool J. Do you know how much money we'll make with this kind of rap beef? Niggas battling after someone really got shot?" This may not be the best time for the conversation. Sean was finishing up. "We drop that shit tomorrow." He listened into the phone and responded, "There's going to be blood in the street. Niggas missed. Pac's alive. Let's capitalize on that shit." When he responds, it's just gonna mean more money. He turned around and looked at me, spoke back into the phone. "I'll call you back." Then hung up and spoke to me. "What's wrong?" I tried my best to give a fake smile at what I'd heard. After all, me and Pac weren't intimate. I responded, "Nothing." Sean wasn't fooled. "Are you sure?" His demeanor was threatening, but I responded as cool as I could muster to his intimidating stare. "Yeah, of course." He took my hand, saying, "That's wonderful." He began to squeeze my hand until it hurt as he continued. "Because seeing you walk in the office while I was talking about killing that motherfucker and you not saying shit to me had me just a little concerned." His grip was starting to hurt badly. "You're hurting me." As he continued, he squeezed tighter. "You're pretending you didn't hear anything was a sign of your loyalty to me, not something I should be concerned with, right?" I had no choice but to give him the answer he wanted. I knew I was trapped when I responded, "Of course I'm loyal to you." He let me go as he responded, "Good. And remember, I'm the big dick." I snatched my hand back in pain. He smiled and said, "Let's start off with a good wine." He snapped his fingers and his favorite wine was poured for him. They knew what Sean wanted, and what he wanted, he got. I'm trapped. Now isn't the time for me to launch my escape plan. I have to be strategic. It's going to be hard to leave the glamour, the glitz, the lifestyle. I mean, this man just snapped his fingers in one of the most exclusive restaurants in New York City, and they poured his drink of choice. The bottle of wine is $800, and this is 1994. The list to get in this place is 6 months. Long if you are somebody. Mayor Giuliani has a table here tonight also. If I got up and walked out, I would be safe. But what about tomorrow? I had to think. He sipped his wine and smiled. You're not drinking? He pointed at my glass, and of course, as a waiter filled it. They know what I liked as well. Sean has a bad temper. He yells sometimes, and okay, he's roughed me up once or twice, but he never punched me. He never bruised me, and he never hit Quincy. I wouldn't have stood for that. I would not have stood for that. He never laid a hand on my son. At that time, I never thought about him touching Quincy in that way, in any way. Then the significance of what he said hit me. Is he mad about Tupac over me? I'm the big dick? Oh my God. The last time he put his hands on me, it was because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. Shit, he enjoyed Jamie too. He gets so insanely jealous. It's not fair. He wants to bring other men into the bedroom, but gets jealous when he does. Damn, you're quiet tonight, he said, snapping me back into the present. I asked the question that was burning in my mind since I walked into the office. What does Chris think of this? He looked at me coolly and said, his fat ass better just keep doing music. A third guest was escorted over by security. Sean motioned for me. Sean motioned for him to sit. A waiter walked over to Sean Carter and asked, would you like something? Carter responded, no thank you. Then said, hello to me with a smile. Smiling, I replied, hey Carter, and took a sip of my drink. The Shines may share a bed together from time to time, but thankfully, I was never asked to join. Carter went on to speak to Sean. I thought we were meeting in private. Sean replied with a nonchalant shrug. I had to discuss something with her. It's fine. Go ahead. He widened the kind of... he wielded this kind of power. Carter shifted uncomfortably in his chair before continuing. It's true, Chris and Pac were about to start their own label. Sean slammed his fist against the table, shouting, doesn't anyone have any fucking loyalty? Carter, well, that's not happening now, right? Sean peered at Carter with distrust. Why the fuck are you so eager to share this with me? Pause. Sean Carter and Sean Carter, who y'all? Y'all not talking about Jay-Z, are y'all? Y'all talking about Jay-Z? No. Chris is your man. Fuck. He brought you on and you're stabbing him in the back? Carter responded with indignity. Did I say indignity? Carter responded with indignity. First, I'm tired of being that nigga's son. I need to come out from under his damn shadow. Sean smiled slightly. Okay, I respect that. Carter, keep going. On top of that, this nigga's making that move and he should have been with me. Sean looked at Carter blankly. Pac put Chris on. You know this? What's this really about, Carter? Don't fucking try to play me. The Jay-Z of today wasn't born yet. This young Sean Carter was in over his head. Concerned, he had to spill it out. Yes, spill it out. I want his spot. Ambition. Now this is a man I can work with. Sean made a grandiose gesture towards Carter. Waiter, get this motherfucker whatever he wants. Carter smiled. Thank you. Sean responded, honesty and ambition. We're going to make a lot of bread together.